Greetings, friends. It is I, once again, OmnusI, cleaning up after the last gaming session, our holiday gaming session, so there's a little bit more to clean up after this time. But, interestingly enough, after this holiday session, I got my Christmas present a little bit early. That's right, it is the December RPG crate. And again, I figured that you might be interested in seeing what kind of things come in these crates, so I thought I would do an unboxing video for you. So, without further ado, I don't mess around with opening boxes. Not the most practical choice, but my son chose it. He's like, Dad, Tonto. Okay. How? So, alright, it is open. And again, I haven't opened this. I don't know what's in it. This is my honest-to-goodness reaction video. So, let's find out how they did. Pop that puppy open, and what to my wondering eyes do appear but a shirt. Okay, again, they gave us a card with the summaries. We're not going to look at that right away. We want to look at all the stuff that's in it. And I can tell right now I'm going to love the shirt. First of all, it looks plenty big for me, which is good. Eastgate Fortified Brewery Dungeons Deep Ale Dwarven Stone Smoked, with a nice mountain motif. We've got the full moon, crescent moon, nice kind of Celtic knot pattern framing it. Swords crossed under a barrel. I'll let you take a look, and I very, very much do like this. So, you know, quite honestly, give me just one moment. We'll see how this shirt looks together. So, here we are. The shirt fits perfectly. A little oversized, I like it. Plenty of room for my frame. Design covers up most of my middle, which is good. Need something to cover my middle. I think if I was going to directly talk to the folks at RPGCrate, and when you're picking out the shirts, these fantasy designs are wonderful. Absolutely love them. This is a well that you can go into again and again and again. Getting a lot of black t-shirts, maybe change up the color a little bit, would be nice. Something in blues, reds, greens. I'd like to see it, but black is always a safe choice. So the next thing we have is a tube rolled up. Interesting. I don't have the fingernails I used to, so. Alright, what is rolled up inside? Ooh. Alright, let's see what we have. We have a wonderful map of the town of Eastgate. This is a very nice high quality map. Slick paper. This is copyright 2016 by Chris Hinson, Lost Tones. So yes, it has, looks like Eastgate is primarily a temple, or it looks like it's set into a mountain, just from the looks of it. It's got a large audience hall. This may be a big dwarven keep, fortress. There's not a lot of places for people to rest or sleep, so it's definitely military in nature. And on the back side, there's a huge brewery. Yeah, it's definitely dwarven. Dungeons deep. And there are more ways down into the dungeon itself, with stairs going down into a deeper dungeon. So, front, got a couple different layers. Again, very high quality maps, very nicely drawn out. Yeah, lovingly crafted, something I'd love to see. You never have too many maps. It's always wonderful to have something like this to pull out to impress your players. So, that's very nice. Alright, next thing we look at. We have... Oh, this is brilliant. This is a sheet for 5th edition, 5e, and it's something that you can wipe off and put down notes that are likely to change, and then you can just keep erasing with the dry marker. It keeps track of your hit points, spell slots, death saves, resources like, you know, thrown arrows, knives, things like that, and a section for ammunition. For things that change place on the fly as you're going through, something like this would be very useful. The backside, it gives you a large area for notes, but the front side with its design, efficiency, and yeah, these are really nice. Unfortunately, they only give one. Now, I'm me, and of course, you know, I'm happy to have it. But I hope something like that is available, because I think my players might be interested in something like that. Writing on your character sheet repeatedly, of course, wears out your character sheet after a while. And much as I don't mind penning out a new character sheet, I love character sheets. You know, I can understand it. You know, would get old. Having something like that you could just wipe off, and yeah, that's really exciting. All right, we have again the next level of the Tales from the Bloody Bucket. The story is a premise of the Eastgate Winter Festival, so that plays in along with the map, as well as detailed notes about the environments and running along an adventure through there. So, yeah, a little bit of art. But this one, unlike the other Tales from the Bloody Bucket that they've offered up so far, each one of those is a bite-sized chunk, a small third of a extended adventure path. This just goes straight in and says, okay, here's the fortifications that you're going to be crawling through and the information on it. That's really interesting. So, still haven't used any of this because I'm already in the middle of a game, but I think I like that better than I like the short bites, because those are often just like one trick with another encounter here and there thrown in. But that with a cogent theme that goes through could be fun. And when I kicked out earlier and didn't take too much of a all right. I always look forward to these effing cool miniatures because they've so far been very high quality. I've really enjoyed them. Themed towards the adventure at hand and such. And here we have one with 3 dwarves. Again, these are high quality, high detail miniatures. And they look like modern pewter. An axe dwarf, a hammer dwarf, and a sword dwarf. And there's a shield flopping in there for, I believe, the swords dwarf. Looks like he's in a position to hold his shield. Yeah, the others look like they're standing in place. They've got their hands on their hips. Now, these dwarves, the facial detailing, the ones with the helms are fine. The hammer dwarf, on the other hand, has a face that almost looks demonic. It's a little deformed and twisted. And it's time for my familiar Magic to show up. So, nice quality miniatures. Say hi, Magic. Hi, Magic. Hello. It won't take her long to decide she doesn't want to be held. She's not a holding kitty as much. So, not unless I could give her all my attention. But, you know me, I love my miniatures. These are, if I can read behind them, Brothers in Arms, Rummy, Ulfril, and Penny from Eastgard. So, assuming these are 3 NPCs that you might encounter in the game, you could get them all dressed up and they'd have matching miniatures exactly for the NPCs that you would encounter. Please, Magic, do not hit the camera. Thank you. Okay. And finally, we have from AdventureAweek.com, written by Jonathan McAnulty, and compatible with 5th edition, Dark Days in Stonehome, another dwarven-themed adventure. The premise: waves of supernatural darkness sweep over the subterranean city of Stoneholm, quenching lights and bringing with it foul creatures of shadow. After heroically defending a group of dwarven children from being ravaged by a group of these shadow beings, the PCs are approached by Ston Deppenkut. Time to break out the guttural dwarven there. One of the king's own advisors, and are offered the task of finding the source of the darkness that threatens the city. Ooh, reading's a little rough. The editing and spacing is kind of tough. But you know, you come from a smaller, you know, pretty company. The layout can be a little wonky. Makes it a little harder to read. Hopefully, it's just the cover that suffers from that. Magic, really. Okay, and the PC's investigation takes them through the underworld to hidden caverns, demons, demon-worshipping priests, offer living sacrifice. So, yeah, looks like an interesting story. It's a 5th edition compatible adventure, suitable for 4 to 6 characters of 1st to 2nd level, that features low-level exploration in Aventyr's underworld, which, of course, you can port to your own world easily enough, I would assume. The actual adventure, printed with color. Very nice, too. Framed in a nice blue. You know, some work has been placed on making it look attractive to the eye. The art inside is nice. Sidebars are all color-coded to make it easy to find. Monsters are in reddish pink. Suggestion of red. Small interior maps. Looks nice. Looks like the interior layout is nicer than... Stop rubbing up against the camera, Magic. I apologize. My cat is not cooperating with me today. As if she ever does. But yes, all in all, you also see that many of the designs are very, very friendly to Pathfinder. These goblins look like they pop right out of Pathfinder, which, you know, is fine. I always liked Pathfinder goblins. I always thought that was one of the things that gave that world, the world that they were creating, more character. Having their goblins be freaky little creatures. So it looks like a full adventure for starting heroes. The one thing I will say is, with most of what RPGCrate has offered, has been a lot of low-level offerings, which is understandable. It's the entry point. You can use these over and over, so have a different point of entry for adventures all along. I would like something next time with a little more meat on its bones, something a little bit bigger. But and of course, as always, packed with pull-apart foam packing, which, again, as I've stated in the last unboxing, I really like. I think it's a classy way of cushioning all your stuff and making sure that it's all very solid. Alright, overall value. Shirt, $10 easy. I really like this shirt. It's just a fun shirt. Full-on module, $7.50 to $10. Pretty reasonable. 3 separate dwarven miniatures. For the lot, I'd say $6 to $8 is what I would probably pay for, 3 solid dwarves. I might even go up to 10. These are very nice quality. Maybe with a little brushing, that psycho-looking dwarf might like their big noses and their, exaggerated features. One of the things I'm thinking sculptors must love doing dwarven miniatures, because you can just, over-exaggerate these big chunky features, rugged musculature and everything, works out well for dwarves for the most part. This map is very cool. Going online, this almost looks like this entire thing could be one solid adventure in a box. Considering the Tale from the Bloody Bucket and the miniatures and the map all go together, that adds value. It stacks rather than depreciating by having unrelated things. It adds it all together, so you have all the props that you need to start out the adventure, to show off your players, and that's actually really cool. This thing, which I'll look at the card in a second, I like this a lot. The idea of not going through scrap pieces of paper to show how your hit points are dwindling, especially for warriors, to having a separate section that shows your spell slots so that you can tick those off as you use them. That's just a really good idea. And, you know, having something on marker board. I have my marker board here, too, that I use for things of a similar nature as a dungeon master. But having something like that as a player so that you can keep your character sheet pristine, only changing it when you go up levels or make significant changes, and instead all of the consumable things like your hit points and spell slots being able to tick off on the sheet, that's a great idea. As far as individual value, I would, you know, maybe $250. But I would be interested in buying that in a pack, like say a 10-pack, so that everybody could have them, and eventually they would get too well used and you'd have to replace them. But yeah, okay. Looking at the card. So, thanks for being an RPG Crate member. This is the last crate of the year, and we're taking you deep into the bowels of a dungeon with some old school exploration. Can your character survive? Be sure to search everything in your crate, or you might miss something awesome. The t-shirt, Stone Smoke Dark Ale that has strong earthy notes and a sweet bitter finish. It's a wonderful shirt. I love this shirt. The RPG Dry Erase Tracking Sheet by Ben Mirabelli. Yeah, it's a laminated character sheet tracker. These should be in gaming stores. This is something that I would like to see my favorite local gaming store start carrying. And I will... Unfortunately, it's benmirabelli.com. Something that's probably only orderable online, but it's cool. It's cool. Had I thought about it in advance, looking for something like that, that would have been a great Christmas present for my players. So, exclusive metal miniatures, the Three Dwarves. I love miniatures. I think those are strong characters, and if they work well in that adventure, it's even better. So. If they're exclusive, hey, so much the better. But they're nice characters. The Adventure Dark Days in Stoneholm, 5th edition adventure, looks like a lot of fun. You know, the thing is, too, you could probably dovetail what goes on in the Eastgate with the Dark Days in Stoneholm. It'd probably work out pretty well. Again, the Tales from the Bloody Bucket in Eastgate. I like it. Solid. That definitely adds some extra value again with all the resources that work to it. The full color map of Eastgate, again, excellent, and full color maps are wonderful. I have several friends in the various social media circles that make maps professionally. They make wonderful maps, and I do not devalue having a good map. I like making my own too. But it's so much easier when you can just take out and put out something that will wow your players. So, wonderful. The Scroll and Map Tube. I didn't think of this as a resource, but technically it is. So, they count that as an item. Okay, it's a bug. Cute. The stuff that was inside it was far more exciting. But if you're going to call that an item, okay. And Dragon Foam. Again, I love the Dragon Foam. It's worth $1 or $2 for a sheet. So, as far as value, again, we're riding pretty close to what I've paid for everything, which I don't feel bad about because I'm going to use all of this. I will use this Eastgate adventure. I have something in mind that having a dwarven side, I kind of skimped on dwarves and dwarven culture over the last few game sessions and campaigns that I've done. So I think it would be good to get back to roots. You want back into the video, don't you? Come here. Nope, magic will not come into the video. Alright, well, that's me. That's my assessment. I think the things are pretty cool. Nothing hokey in this one. Everything is fairly usable. And I will definitely get some enjoyment out of that. So, looking forward to the next RPG Crate. And this is OmnusI once again, signing off.